Chapter 6 The Calling. Early the next morning, on the outskirts of Stratholme.
Glad you could make it, Uther.
Watch your tone with me, boy. You may be the prince, but I'm still your superior as a paladin.
As if I could forget. Listen, Uther. There's something about the plague you should know. Oh no. We're too late. These people have all been infected. They may look fine now, but it's just a matter of time before they turn into the undead.
What?
This entire city must be purged.
How can you even consider that? There's got to be some other way.
Damn it, Uther. As your future king, I order you to purge this city.
You are not my king yet, boy. Nor would I obey that command even if you were.
Then I must consider this an act of treason.
Treason? Have you lost your mind, Arthas?
Have I? Lord Uther, by my right of succession and the sovereignty of my crown, I hereby relieve you of your command and suspend your paladins from service.
Arthas, you can't just...
It's done! Those of you who have the will to save this land, follow me. The rest of you, get out of my sight.
You've just crossed a terrible threshold, Arthas.
Jaina?
I'm sorry, Arthas. I can't watch you do this.
Now, even on normal mode, this mission can be considered difficult for more than one reason, which means that on hard mode, it's gonna come down to luck more so than anything else, because I have neither the skill nor the strength to fight any battle straight up, and I'll need to pick and choose carefully where I'm going to be, knowing when to run away if I want to survive. I split my forces up right off the bat, and instead of fighting fairly for it, I steal a Tome of Strength +2 from this tent inside of a bandit's camp. Meanwhile, my knights head over to the zoo searching for Filson the Rat, who holds a talisman of evasion. Both will be incredibly useful through this mission and future missions. After my knights have finished their task, they'll head to the northwest quadrant, which hopefully should keep them out of trouble while allowing them to still be useful. Arthas will go after the Demon Lord alone, who has a powerful spell called Sleep, which oddly enough put a target to sleep. But if there's only one thing that they're fighting, he tends towards not using the majority of his spells, which should give me the edge required to actually beat this mission.
Sire? I swear
Job's done.
Father, forgive me for what I must do. I stand for the light. Certainly.
Job's done. What is it? Oh, work. Job's done. Righto.
I've been waiting for you, young prince. I am Mal'Ganis. As you can see, your people are now mine. I will now turn this city household by household until the flame of life has been snuffed out forever.
I won't allow it, Mal'Ganis. Better that these people die by my hand than serve as your slaves in death. I'm here to help.
While my troops are busy around town, I need to work up something in the way of base defenses. The primary mode of taking down enemy attackers will be these guard towers, whereas my troops will be mainly running away from the enemy, guarding them through a firing line, and letting that grind them to death through the most part.
The light is my strength.
As for upgrades, I'll
Job's
only
done.
be getting the upgrades for the knights
done.
and spellcasters. The rest of my army will have to do without. And on the note of my army, I'm only going to have 3 knights in this mission, although I could make more. They're such a high tier unit that by the time that I can get them, the battle will be almost completed. As for my base defenders, in addition to the 2 footmen, will also be 2 riflemen, 2 sorcerers, and 2 priests. Hopefully that'll be enough, and they'll be able to stay alive through the coming battles.
Yes, my lord.
Now my knights, powerful as they are a liability when left alone, which means that I have to watch them somewhat carefully, and if the demon lord should appear near them, they need to know to run away. However, for Arthas, he's rather powerful and has the divine shield ability. Under the assumption that I watch carefully, I can pop it when necessary and run him away to the fountain of healing when I need to. Under the assumption that I keep running away from Mal'Ganis, there is a small possibility that he gets somewhat bugged out and ends up forgetting to attack buildings, but this won't last for more than a couple of minutes before he gets reset and starts going back on the rampage. So any advantage that I get, I need to take full advantage of,
Alright.
instead of just
Off I go
going
then.
with what little I
easy.
can do.
Alright.
Now, I'm going to be sending my peasants
go then.
somewhat away from the front lines. That way I can keep them from becoming the target of the enemy's aggression. And I'm also going to be working on eventually getting additional armor for my buildings, because the siege wagons will wreak havoc. Both knights and abominations are a heavy armor type, which means that most attacks don't tend to do as much damage because their armor is increased. However, it does mean that they take extra damage from piercing attacks, which is part of the reason why I need to watch out for mine and lead the enemy's abominations through the guard towers, letting them get plucked full of arrows. However, I can't leave my base
Righto.
completely undefended. Siege wagons will
work.
break down my buildings, and I need to make sure to respond
I
properly
live once
when they
more.
do arrive. Now as for Mal'Ganis' army, 1 auto attack and 1 holy light is enough to
Your
knock
Honor.
down any ghoul, and it only takes 1 casting of the light to get rid of uh-oh.
I swear.
And like I said, sometimes I'll need to run away.
For the king.
But his necromancers only take a single light casting of the light to get rid of.
The light is my strength.
Now, as for Mal'Ganis right now, I think I'll leave him alone and focus on pressing my advantage once again, and wait till he finishes up the northwest quadrant, because that should keep him busy long enough for me to get more done down here. My knights will probably remain separate from Arthas, though once I get the 3rd knight, they'll be doing not just equal damage, but greater damage to him, which would be excellent. I'll probably be sending them ahead to break down buildings while using Arthas to knock down ghouls, because that'll be able to make it to where I do the most damage the fastest, as long as they're together. Using them to try and attack civilians, or the zombies even, is almost a wasted effort compared to what they can do to the buildings. They don't have a siege-style attack like Mal'Ganis does, but they don't have as much hit points or the regeneration that Arthas does. I want to save his holy light primarily for the enemy, because it's a powerful move that should be taken advantage of fully. And that brings me to a question that's often asked. Is Arthas a good guy or a bad guy? The answer is yes.
Yes, my lord.
He's a hero, and like many other heroes, sometimes they have to make tough calls. Sometimes a bad choice is better than no choice at all. And sometimes, when you feel like you're pinned into a corner, action is the only way to truly respond. whether or not those actions are the right
Is someone
ones.
injured?
Help me.
In a different universe, perhaps Arthas wouldn't have been so hasty and rushed so much. He could have taken a moment to make Uther come to the conclusion that he had already come to. He could have let him know what the grain was, about the plague, and about the people. He could have let him witness it personally. He could have asked him to watch over his base while he and Jaina go after the purple undead team, breaking them down while slowing down Mal'Ganis, in the hopes that they might be able to make him lose interest, finding the battle to be too difficult altogether. But instead, we have the story that we do have, which is a wonderful story, don't get me wrong, but it's also a sad story. Absolutely a tragedy. Now, whether or not I go after Mal'Ganis, he will receive reinforcements to his army, with it eventually growing to the size that I couldn't face it even with all of my troops on the field at once. Which means, of course, that only Arthas can go after it. He has to engage in hit-and-run tactics, knocking down priority targets, and doing as much damage as possible while leading the undead away from their goals. Only through this can he slow them down enough to be effective, and even at that, the effectiveness is going to be limited, because even after I've led them away, the undead, even if they should give up on their current goals and move just on punishing Arthas, it'll only be a matter of time before they go back to breaking more buildings and building up a tremendous army of zombies for the undead. If they should get 100, it's game over for me. So I need to stay alert, and I need to stay on my feet through all of it. Running away is the name of the game in this case, and I'll have to do a lot of it through the entire mission, not only at home but also out on the field. Slowing down Mal'Ganis is almost as good as killing him at many points, and the Fountain of Healing is an extremely useful item that I'll be needing to make use of through the entire battle. When I'm doing damage to the enemy, it'll mean that they're stopping from their goal. If I get Mal'Ganis' attention, no more houses get broken. But it's only temporary. Each kill that they get brings them closer, and each kill that I get brings it closer to an end. If I don't have my third knight up now, I should have it up soon, and then I can move the three of them together as a team through the city. Once they have their extra hit points, they'll be slightly beefier, but still, getting caught between the green and purple army is a death sentence even for Arthas under the assumption that his divine shield isn't ready. And as long as I keep doing tiny pokes at the enemy and running away, I lead more and more chance that they'll end up finding my knights.
Live once more.
Mal'Ganis can put them to sleep, they'll get quickly surrounded, and then past that, I'm almost doomed. Which means that I need to move fast, and I need to be near ruthless with my actions. I can't even bother waiting entirely for the villagers to finish turning into zombies, and I have to practically skin the civilians alive if I'm gonna beat the Demon Lord. Because even with destroying him, the advantage that I'm able to get is minimalistic at best, and drawing him away from his targets in the hopes that I bug out his AI is the only thing that'll truly slow him down. Otherwise he'll hit 80 as I hit 100 kills, which means that overall, the city will take more damage from me not getting involved with him than if I go after him directly. I would consider going over the 40 supply limit, but that'll put me into low upkeep, which means that the gold, although I'm not spending it, would start to decrease in quantity. I would only be getting 7 for each time that I have a peasant return from the mine, whereas each visit to the mine removes 10, regardless of how much they bring back. If I go into high upkeep, this is reduced by 3 more, bringing it down to 4.
Your Honor.
So, by keeping my army small, it means that I also end up with more gold at the end of the mission, even though that tiny gold doesn't matter too much. I continue with poke and run attacks at the enemy, but I've run myself out of mana, and I need a plan if I'm gonna get it back, because in this case, it seems that I'm almost unable to get him to bug out. Normally I can stop him around 20 or 30 kills. However, in this case, he seems to be dedicated on making his move. Purple and the green army combined have come after me, and I need to work carefully, or I really will be surrounded and killed, as my hit points are low, and my enemies are fast. At this point, I don't even have enough for my divine shield. So I say a bit of a prayer to the light and hope that it still answers, as I hide Arthas for a brief moment and tell my knights to continue the slaughter. Soon, I'll go and check the Goblin Merchant, because I need mana more so than I need anything else. The light is my greatest weapon at this point, but I also have to watch out for my knights, because if they should get... oh boy. If they should get surrounded, I'm doomed. And as we see, now, Mal'Ganis has found me, even though I was hiding. I'm not sure what his AI algorithm actually dictates. I know that from time to time he targets random nearby buildings, and I know that so long as I go after him like I've been doing, he tends towards ignoring that and going after my character directly. By keeping on the move, it means that I can stay a step in front of him, and he'll just follow behind me with his arms crossed in front of his chest, convinced that the young prince only needed to be taunted to go do his dirty work for him. Mal'Ganis has terrorized my people and made me suffer, and so for that I will make him pay. But to do that, I do need that mana, because it is my biggest weapon. I head over relatively soon, looking for the Shrine of Healing, but only after making sure that Mal'Ganis has no chance of getting at my knights, and I'll probably lead him back with me, because that's the only way to slow him down enough from his horrid goal. Now his army, it seems, has already reinforced what few kills I managed to inflict, and is only growing in size. He grows angrier and angrier, and although I can outrun him, it is almost a futile effort, just buying time for my knights to continue a horrid campaign across the city. If I were using only one group of attackers at this point, my knights would already be dead. They would have been surrounded, cut off, and killed, and they'd have only Arthas to thank for it. So far I've done a good job of keeping the Demon Lord distracted, and my knights have done a good job of knocking down houses, moving closer to finishing the mission. Soon I'll consider going and helping my knights after I've allowed Arthas to regenerate his hit points one more time. However, given the circumstances, I likely won't be able to, and I'll have to tell them to continue their grim task while I run back to Mal'Ganis again and do my best to inflict as much in the way of damage as I possibly can. My base defenders have done well, and none of them have fallen so far, which is good, because the undead can reinforce far faster than I can, and they seem to have a near infinite supply of gold, which of course is dangerous for me. Once I do get back to the Demon Lord, I'll do my best to dance with him a little bit more and busy him from his task, while my knights continue the unholy slaughter across this town. Given that I have no mana, I likely will, well, next to no mana, I likely will do my best towards trying to reach the Goblin Merchant and see if he has anything useful for me.
Of course.
However, at
Certainly.
least I'll be able to find some potions of healing. No,
Sound
mana,
forces are
which
under attack.
should be
Of
just
course.
enough to get me
For
strong
honor.
enough to put the
Certainly.
Demon Lord down one more time before I
A
finish
sound
this
plan.
mission. Because after all, he's been more than difficult enough, and I'm
Of
more
course.
than ready
A
to do
sound
what it
plan.
takes to make sure that he
I'm here
suffers
to help.
for all of this trouble that he's
Can I
put me
help you?
through.
Our town is
A
under
small bit
siege.
of defensive actions
The
at
light is my
town,
strength.
one more
forces
attack
are
at the
under
Demon
attack.
Lord, and a few more houses, and this mission will be complete.
Once again,
So it's time that I just be silent and let
What a
this
good
all
idea.
carry it, and let the rest of this take place. Because the end is finally near.
once again, it's up to the others. If you insist. Once again, it's up to the others.
Of course.
Say the word.
This better be good.
Yes, my friend.
What'll it be, Hotshot? If you insist. Once again, it's up to the others.
I stand for the light.
This better be good.
Our town is under
Help
siege.
me. Help you. It's about time.
What is it? All right. Righto. All right.
Yes, my lord.
At once.
Justice is done. For honor.
Betrayer of the light.
Of course. For Lord Oran.
Job's
For
done.
past redemption. For honor. Justice has come. A sound plan. For honor.
Betrayer of the light. Our forces are under attack.
You are past redemption. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. Of course. For
Job's
honor.
done.
Of course. For honor.
Sire?
A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course.
Our forces are under
town
attack. Is under siege.
Certainly.
Job's done.
A sound plan.
Kick down, Spike. What'll it be, Hotshot?
Our forces are under attack.
What a good idea.
I'm here to help. Certainly. A sound plan.
Command me. To the deck. Our forces are under attack.
I stand.
Upgrade complete, sire.
I live once more.
Have at thee. To the deck. Our forces are under attack. Absolutely.
We're going to finish this right now, Mal'Ganis. Just you and me.
Brave words. Unfortunately for you, it won't end here. Your journey has just begun, young prince. Gather your forces and meet me in the Arctic land of Northrend. It is there that we shall settle the score between us. It is there that your true destiny will unfold.
I'll hunt you to the ends of the earth if I have to. Do you hear me? To the ends of the earth!
Now I would thank God that this is all finally over, but God had nothing to do with this. However, on the bright side, I did manage to do it deathless, and for that much I should be thankful, because it's not guaranteed, even when distracting the Demon Lord directly. Divergent courses, 3 days later, amongst the ruins of Stratholme.
So much death. I can't believe Arthas could have done this.
Jaina! Jaina Proudmoore!
Lord Uther?
Ah, Jaina. I thought I might find you here. Where has he gone, girl? Where has Arthas taken the fleet?
He came to me before he left. I pleaded with him not to go. I told him it sounded like a trap.
Where?
Northrend. He's gone to Northrend to hunt Morganis.
Damn that boy. I've got to inform King Tyrannus. Don't be too hard on yourself, girl. You had nothing to do with this slaughter.
The dead in this land might lie still for the time being, but don't be fooled. Your young prince will find only death in the cold north.
You! Arthas is only doing what he believes is right.
Commendable as that may be, his passions will be his undoing. It falls to you now, young sorceress. You must lead your people west to the ancient lands of Kalimdor. Only there can you combat the shadow and save this world from the flames.